11 strange things only cats can see and hear, but you can't. Our cat is staring at a blank wall right now. Or they will be tonight. Maybe at 3 in the morning, in a room with no light, tracking something across a ceiling you can see absolutely nothing on. And you're going to laugh. Or feel slightly uneasy. And then you're going to go back to sleep without ever knowing what they were looking at. This video is going to change that. Because your cat is not broken. They're not dramatic. They're not doing it for attention. They are operating inside a completely different version of reality than the one you experience. A version with more light, more sound, more information, more sensory data than your brain could process even if you had access to it. And we're going to go through all of it. 11 things your cat can perceive that you simply cannot, building from the least unsettling all the way to the final one. The final one is the reason people message us at midnight. Stay until the end. But before we get into it, if you've ever looked at your cat and felt like there was something going on inside their mind that you could never quite reach, subscribe right now and hit that notification bell. That feeling you have? It's correct. And this channel is going to show you why. Comment, "I subscribe" below, and I will personally welcome you into this community. Now, let's step into the sensory universe your cat lives in every single day. Number 11. Your cat has a night vision system that makes your best technology look primitive. You think you know what darkness is. You don't. Meet Marcus, 34 years old, convinced his cat, a gray tabby named Ghost, was somehow broken. Every single night, between 3 and 4 in the morning, Ghost would tear through the apartment at full speed, leaping the sofa, threading between furniture, navigating every corner at a pace that made no logical sense given that Marcus couldn't see his own hand in front of his face. Marcus stubbed both toes, walked into the doorframe, knocked over an entire shelf in the dark, looking for a light switch. Ghost didn't touch a single obstacle. Here's why. Behind the retina of a cat, I sit a layer of reflective cells called a tapetum lucidum. This layer does something no human eye can do. It catches every photon of light that passed through the retina without being detected and bounces it back through the eye a second time. Your cat's eye processes the same light twice. This is why their eyes glow when a light hits them in the dark. They're literally reflecting light back at you. But that's not all. Cats have up to 8 times more rod cells in their eyes than humans do. Rod cells are photoreceptors responsible for detecting motion and shape in dim conditions. 8 times more. So when Ghost was sprinting through Marcus's apartment at 3 a.m., navigating perfectly, Ghost saw everything. Every piece of furniture, every obstacle, every inch of the path. As clearly as Marcus would have seen it in daylight. Marcus was the one who was functionally blind. And night vision is the least extraordinary ability on this list. Number 10. Your cat sees a spectrum of light your eyes are completely unable to register. In 2014, a study published in the journal Proceedings of the Royal Society confirmed something that changed how scientists understood feline vision permanently. Cats can see ultraviolet light. The human eye has lenses that filter UV out. We evolved this way and it works fine for us. But cats and several other predators have UV transparent lenses, meaning a spectrum of light that is entirely invisible to you is simply part of what they see all the time. What does that actually look like? Flowers that appear plain white or yellow to you glow with vivid, high-contrast patterns in UV. Certain surfaces reveal markings and residue that are invisible in visible light. And perhaps most importantly for a predator, rodents leave urine trails that are fluorescent under UV. Your cat, walking through a field or even across your kitchen floor, maybe following a map made of glowing footprints that you have absolutely no access to. That corner your cat is laser focused on, they might be reading a trail that has been glowing there for hours, and their hearing makes their vision look almost ordinary. Number 9. A cat's hearing range makes military surveillance equipment look modest. Watch your cat's ears the next time you're in a quiet room. Really watch them. They move independently. They rotate. They tilt and track without the rest of the head moving at all, like 2 small satellite dishes running entirely separate searches. That's because they are. Cats can hear frequencies up to 65,000 hertz. The upper limit of human hearing is approximately 20,000 hertz, and that's only when we're young. Most adults have already lost significant range above 15,000. Dogs max out around 45,000. Cats exceed them all. That 65,000 hertz ceiling means cats can hear the ultrasonic vocalizations of mice. Sounds mice specifically evolved to make outside the hearing range of predators. It means they hear the high-frequency hum of electronics inside your walls before any fault shows up. It means they are tracking sounds from multiple streets away while you sit in the same room, believing it's quiet. And each ear, controlled by 32 independent muscles, capable of rotating up to 180 degrees. This isn't just hearing more. This is precision sound location. The ability to pinpoint exactly where in three-dimensional space a sound is originating from. When your cat stares at a wall, there's a very real chance something is moving inside it. Sarah's cat Machi spent 3 days pawing at the same section of the living room baseboard. Sarah assumed it was a quirk. Then a pest control inspection found an active mouse nest inside the drywall, exactly where Machi had been pointing. Machi knew. She'd been hearing it the whole time. Number 8. Cats can detect disasters before any instrument on Earth registers them. This one requires you to stay with me for a moment because it is genuinely unsettling. Below the threshold of human hearing, below what any of our natural senses can register, there are vibrations. Low, deep, slow frequency pulses moving to the ground, through water, through the air, called infrasound, generated by approaching storms, seismic shifts, tectonic plate movement, volcanic activity. Cats can hear them. In the historical record surrounding the 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami, one of the deadliest natural disasters in modern history, there are dozens of documented accounts of animals, including cats, behaving in frantic and inexplicable ways hours before the wave struck, hours before any detection system raised an alarm, hours before any human being had any reason to believe something was coming. They were evacuating. Multiple earthquake events around the world carry similar records. In 2011, researchers studying animal behavior before seismic events found patterns of unusual agitation, hiding, and flight behavior in domestic cats in the hours preceding measurable ground movement. They are reading a warning signal written in a frequency we will never hear. So if your cat, without any apparent cause, suddenly becomes deeply restless, begins pacing with purpose, retreats to an unusual hiding spot they've never used before, or acts frantic in a way that has no visible explanation, pay attention. They may be tracking something that hasn't reached you yet. Before we continue, we're halfway through the 11 and we want to know which ability has already surprised you the most. Drop it in the comments right now, because the next 7 are only going to get stranger. And if this video is giving you a whole new level of respect for the animal sitting in your living room, share it with someone who still thinks their cat is just weird. They need this. Number 7. Your cat doesn't choose to lie on you because of your personality. They're reading your heat signature. Cats have thermoreceptors, temperature-sensitive nerve cells, concentrated in their facial area, particularly around the nose. These receptors are sensitive enough to detect radiant body heat from a nearby creature without any physical contact. This is a hunting adaptation. Their wild ancestors used it to detect warm-blooded prey in total darkness, a mouse's body heat becoming a detectable signal even when sight and sound provided nothing. In your home, it means your cat reads the thermal output of every person in the room and makes a decision about where to settle based on that data. The warmest person in the room gets the cat. Every time. This also explains why cats gravitate to laptops, fresh laundry from the dryer, and that one specific cushion that happens to sit above a heating vent. It is not arbitrary. It is thermal intelligence. You are not chosen. You are scanned. Number 6. Your cat's whiskers are not decorative. They are a precision sensory instrument. What most people believe. Whiskers are cute. What is actually happening? Your cat is running a continuous sonar sweep of the surrounding environment using deeply embedded sensory organs. The vibrissae, the technical name for a cat's whiskers, are rooted far deeper than regular fur, embedded in a follicle surrounded by dense nerve endings that are directly connected to the brain's sensory processing centers. They detect the smallest shifts in air pressure. They register movement. They map spatial relationships with accuracy that borders on architectural. In near total darkness, a cat can sense the exact shape of an object without touching it, detect air currents disturbed by moving prey, and determine whether a gap is wide enough for their body to pass through before committing to the attempt. They are building a three-dimensional model of the world around them in real time. This is why cutting a cat's whiskers, which some people have done thinking it harmless, is genuinely disorienting and distressing for the animal. You're not trimming a hair. You're disabling a sensory system. Number 5. Your cat knew you were having a bad day before you admitted it to yourself. This one is not instinct in the way most people mean that word. This is something more deliberate. Multiple studies over the past decade have documented that cats actively read and respond to human emotional states, tracking changes in facial expression, shifts in vocal tone, alterations in posture, and even stress hormones released into the air through perspiration. A 2015 study from Oakland University found that cats behaved measurably differently in the presence of owners displaying positive emotional states versus negative ones, approaching more, vocalizing more, spending more time in close physical proximity when their owner was distressed. They showed up when you needed them, not because they needed something, because they read you. Think about Dana, 31 years old, going through the most painful period of her life, a marriage quietly falling apart. No one in her close circle aware of how bad things had gotten. She hadn't told a friend, hadn't said a word aloud, had barely admitted it to herself. Her cat began sleeping pressed directly against her chest every night. Had never done it before. Continued every night through the entire 4 months until things began to stabilize. Dana later said it was the most consistently comforting presence she had during that entire period. Something that had no agenda. Something that simply read her and made a choice to stay close. They showed up because they sense a shift. And what they smell about you goes deeper still. Number 4. Your cat walks into a room and reads the emotional history of everyone who's been in it. A cat's sense of smell is approximately 14 times stronger than a human's. That alone would be remarkable, but that's not the real story. The real story is the vomeronasal organ, also called the Jacobson's organ, located in the roof of the mouth. This is a secondary olfactory system that operates entirely separately from the nose. It is specifically designed to analyze pheromones and chemical messages, the biochemical communication layer that exists beneath everything humans express verbally. When your cat opens their mouth in that strange, slightly blank expression, called the flamen response, they are not spacing out. They are actively funneling scent molecules directly into the secondary system for deep chemical analysis. What are they reading? Fear, aggression, reproductive status, illness, the emotional state of every person or animal that has recently occupied the space, the residue of stress, excitement, anxiety, and grief, all of it encoded in chemical signatures that hang in the air of a room long after the person has left. Your cat walks into your living room and reads it like an emotional log. Number 3. Your cat's visual system was built not to see the world, but to hunt it. Cats have a visual field of approximately 200 degrees. Human visual field, around 180. But the difference isn't just in the width. It's in what that extra range is tuned to detect. A cat's peripheral vision is calibrated specifically for motion. The slightest flicker at the edge of their visual field, a leaf moving 2 rooms away, a cursor shifting on a screen, a shadow changing shape on a wall, registers with an intensity that activates a hunting response automatically. The hunting instinct in a domestic cat never fully switches off. It sits just below the surface, ready to engage at the first signal. This is also why laser pointers produce such an extreme reaction. You are not playing with your cat. You are activating a neurological system that was engineered over millions of years of evolution to chase, close distance, and catch. The laser provides a chase with no catch, no resolution, no endpoint. If you use a laser pointer, always end the session with a physical toy your cat can actually catch and carry. Give the hunt a conclusion. Without one, you're leaving their most primal drive running on empty. Number 2. Your cat may be navigating using the Earth's magnetic field. Here's where the science moves from well-established to quietly extraordinary. Emerging research into magnetoreception, the ability to detect and orient by the Earth's magnetic field, has documented this capability in migratory birds, certain species of fish, and some mammals. A growing body of evidence suggests cats may possess it too. phenomenon that brought this research into focus is one that has been documented, recorded, and studied for decades without a satisfying scientific explanation. Cats finding their way home. Not across a neighborhood. Across cities. Across hundreds of miles. Cats displaced when owners relocate, somehow returning to a previous address along routes they could not have known. A cat in Italy that traveled over 260 miles. Documented cases in the United States of cats reuniting with families after relocation spanning multiple states. No map, no GPS, no logical pathway. If magnetoreception is confirmed in cats, it would mean they carry something inside them oriented to something ancient and planetary, a compass built into their biology, calibrated to the field of the Earth itself. Something no human technology has yet fully replicated. The next time your cat stares into the middle distance with that focused, searching expression, they may not be daydreaming. They may be orienting. Number 1. The one that changes things at 3 a.m. Almost every single cat owner has a version of this story. Most of them have never told it to anyone they weren't sure would believe them. The slow, deliberate tracking of something moving across a ceiling in the middle of the night. Something that has no physical form. The sudden hiss, not playful, not aggressive, directed at an empty corner of the room. A corner no one else is looking at. The stare, unblinking, fixed, in the direction of a hallway that contains nothing. Your rational mind offers explanations. A sound in the walls, a shift in the light, a bug you can't see. And those explanations are possible. They are. But here's what science actually confirms. Not ghosts, not the supernatural, but something perhaps more disorienting if you really let it land. Your cat is perceiving a version of reality so different from yours that everything they react to is real, just not to you. Ultraviolet light, glowing in a corner you see as empty. Infrasound vibrations moving through the floor that predates something coming. Chemical traces in the air telling them something was here that you never noticed. High-frequency sounds from inside a structure that your hearing will never reach. Thermal signatures from sources you cannot identify. When your cat reacts to something you cannot perceive, the most honest, scientifically grounded answer is 3 words. Invisible. To you. Their world is not your world. It never has been. Whatever they're watching in that empty corner at 3 a.m., they are completely, absolutely, calmly certain it's there. And here is what I want you to take away from this. The next time your cat freezes and stares at something you cannot see, don't laugh. Don't dismiss it. Don't tap them on the head and go back to your phone. Pause. Consider what you now know about what they see, what they hear, what they smell, what they feel through vibration and magnetism and heat and the chemical memory of the air around them. You're not living with a mysterious animal. You're living with a creature that is operating on a sensory level so far beyond your own that their behavior will always outpace your explanations. That's not weird. That's extraordinary. And you get to share your home with it. So here's a question I want you to answer in the comments right now. Because after this video, your answer is going to mean something different than it would have an hour ago. What is the strangest thing your cat has ever stared at, reacted to, or seemed to sense before happened? Drop it below. I read every single one. And I have a feeling the explanations are going to hit very differently now. If this video shifted the way you see your cat, share it with someone who still thinks their cat is just being weird. They need this more than they know. And watch our next video, because knowing what your cat can sense is only half of the picture. Knowing what your cat truly needs from you is just as important. And missing even one of those things could be quietly affecting your bond right now. Don't let that happen.